working with the Senator to strengthen the bill so it is closer to the scientific reductions of the bill that he's a co-sponsor of, that it's strengthening the process to ensure that we're not giving away pollution credits scot-free to some of the biggest polluting industries out there, and working to make sure that the reductions aren't imaginary, that they're real, and that they're going to start happening right now. Because once again, we have a limited time period to act. And this is a question of leadership. George Orwell once said that the sign of intelligence is being able to see something that's right in front of your nose. Really, the sign of leadership is whether you're willing to act. And I'm heartened to be joined by the Senator, and I definitely look forward to working with him to make sure we're passing the strongest bill possible in the U.S. Senate. Thank you.
Thank you, Doug. What can I say? The kind of passion is what we need. But I'm glad to see everybody here today. As most of our panelists have mentioned, global warming is probably the crisis of our times. At NJPIRG and at Campus Climate Challenge, we work with students on campus, so we see firsthand what students think about global warming. And it's unanimous. It is the problem out there that we will deal with. We have to start working on it now, and we are. We're starting to call for an action. Students are our future leaders. We have led the way on so many social movements, so I see this to be the correct way to go about trying to make a positive change. NJPIRG's Campus Climate Challenge has been working here at Rutgers to organize educational events around campus, educate our students, try to let them know that this cannot continue. But the forum today and our theme is strengthening leadership. Our climate challenge last spring was recognized by MTV for basically being the only university doing the most to fight global warming. And along with that honor, we also got 10,000 to make our campus more sustainable. But like I said, global warming is our major problem. And what we don't know is that we could stop the worst effects. We have policies out there that we could enforce. What we lack today is strong leadership. As Doug mentioned, we have all these special interests out there trying their best to make sure that we have a bill that's weakened and rendered useless. That is not an option. Here on campus, we have the passion and we have the resources. I applaud Rutgers and Vice Provost Vincenti's speech on what Rutgers has been doing. Right now, we have an opportunity as Rutgers to show the nation to be a leader right there. And I asked Rutgers to take up this challenge to do so. All the students here would like to thank Senator Menendez today. In New Jersey, we know Senator has made environment his top priority. Students, the future of the state and country, we need, Senator, you to make sure that this bill is not weakened further. That seems to be the most critical issue here. It's certainly going to take strong leadership in Washington for this to happen, and this is the issue of our times. So we need that. That is the most critical theme today. I think one thing is clear from all the speakers today, and that is by taking action at all levels, campus, federal, local, and interacting that together, that is what we need to strengthen our movement. We need students engaged and involved in this. So I encourage students here across the state and around the country to step forward, organize, and make a social change and fight global warming. Thank you. Now we're going to open the forum for a question and answer session. So if you do have a question, please raise your hand and address it to a member of the panel. Sure.
Yes, hi. I'll stand up. My name is Deanne Meltzer. I'm a grad student in the English department here at the Rutgers campus. And I want to put the word out just for a moment as well that we are in the works of planning an interfaith Earth Day Seder for Wednesday the 23rd during free period here, and looking for feedback and participation. So anyone who's interested in that should come to me. But also I want to ask you, I'm sorry, okay. So I would like to ask you, is this working? I don't think so. Oh, anyway, I would like to just ask you also, because I would like, our project, and we're also having a reading of graduate and faculty poets and writers from 5 to 7 that day, Wednesday, the 23rd, down in Robeson Gallery for an Earth Day poetry project. But my question is there a petition or petitions coming from the Rutgers campuses, or that you can envision might assist, us in communicating with our legislatures for New Jersey legislation or for the federal legislation? Do you think that would help increase?
Well, at this point, I think anything done by students on campus is good. And what we do here is we have divided ourselves into 2 different sections. One is educational, where we go at a local level and try to get students to rally behind our cause. At the same time, we have a federal level, and the forum today is a basic example of that. We have Senator Menendez and officials from the student leaders and from Rutgers as well. So I don't see why that would not help either. Any more questions? Sure.
I'd like to take the opportunity of your question to suggest what in fact can be done that is powerful. And a petition is fine. But let me tell you what moves me the most. I have the privilege of representing 9 million people in New Jersey. What moves me the most is a handwritten letter. Why? When's the last time, outside of maybe a loved one, that you wrote a handwritten letter on any issue? Raise your hand for me. And that's the power. Signing a petition is meaningful. But what is really powerful to me is when individual citizens take their time to write a letter about whatever the topic, in this case, global warming. And I would urge you to do that with all members of the New Jersey congressional delegation. There are 13 members of the House of Representatives, of course Senator Lautenberg as well, but he and I are basically on the same page, as was pointed out by Doug before. The reality is that not all members of our congressional delegation necessarily share this view about the urgency of global warming. And so I think for those of you who should look up